I have 4 o'clock. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Did I have an approval for the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Let's stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I don't see anyone here for public comment. So I guess we're ready for our engineer update.
Good afternoon, J.D. King, Page County Engineer. It's a fine day in Page County compared to Worth County, what I was talking to today, overcast and raining. It is the 18th of November. The winter will show up sometime, but we're not in a hurry. The engineer's update went out yesterday afternoon. We're out in the blades on rock. There's more on the gravel southwest of town here. We are mowing on J52 with a skid steer on brush. Going from east to west. The pipe crew is servicing one of their machines and given the forecast for the rest of the week, we're probably going to put an attachment on the mower that grinds brush. Also, another one that grinds up brush. And have them run that for a while. See what the weather shakes out for the next week. Since the acquisition of a Cat wheel loader recently, we now have 2 wheel loaders, and we used the second one to good effect the last 3 weeks out in the wind turbine area, pushing rubble into a ditch that was generated by the PC patching. So the 2 wheel loaders is a benefit to the operation. We're hooking up some snow plows to the trucks at the shop, the ones that don't run all the time with rock. Motor grader number 1 and number 8 were visited by the Cat field tech. Had some codes about the regen. It's not vegan, it's regen. On my little handwriting there. Also picked up some steel backer plate for plows from Hawkeye Truck. We'll be doing that this week. And we got in another load of salt. That brings our salt for this year to 75 tons. We've ordered 100. So 1 more load probably this week or next. We are our mix shed with salt and sand mix is full, and we're putting salt in the bins, storage bins, just in case. We're still waiting to close out paperwork on the Essex Bridge. It's a grant project bridge, so there's a few more hoops to jump through. But we did that for the millions of dollars we got from the feds. We got done with pouring concrete on the PC patching on J52. They'll set tomorrow, curing, and Thursday morning they'll pull the signs and the barricades for that operation. The Redwood Avenue Bridge north of Clarinda here was open to traffic Saturday about noon. And we're working on the Yorktown Bridge project development. Over at the wind turbine area, we're working on gravel turn back, putting together how many miles, what we're going to do with the miles, and working up a price to do that, to haul that rock in the spring instead of the fall. So it'll tie in better and we won't lose it. There are some roads there now that will have to be worked on this fall, but not the majority of them. And then, so by the end of the week, I'll have that sent over to Mid-Am. See what they think. Also have some news about the Wabash Trace, the Wrap Park Connector Trail that the Wabash Trace folks were awarded state rec trail money, $285,000. Also noticed that a project agreement for that project came in my email today, and we'll have that in front of the board next week. Every project has projects we do have funding agreements. Whether the funding agreement is different than a project agreement, I don't know. But whatever, it should have the sources of the money, particularly the money that flows through the DOT. So I anticipate that being on the agenda next week. Questions for the update?
I don't have any.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is I talked to JD this past week because we had some concerns about J52 when it was closed and no detours or anything for people to figure out. And there was some that the way that they go is gravel, but the other half of the road is dirt. And that was the only way they could go down the dirt road. And it was real foggy one morning, so it made it kind of treacherous, and they weren't real happy with it. And I asked JD about detours, and when we do close roads, usually like you get the notification and it'll say no detour has been assigned.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that kind of, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you said that's kind of dependent on traffic on the road, or how much traffic it gets versus how long it's going to be shut down.
Correct. There are several factors we take into account before if it's a farm to market route, has to be detoured, particularly for something that's more than a couple of days. Or the high traffic count roads, the pavements, particularly depending on how long the segment that's closed is. From like maybe a mile, it's only closed for a day, we wouldn't do anything, but for 7 miles and it closed all day, we probably would sign a detour.
Yeah, and so this J52 is closed. It's been closed for a
Couple weeks.
We didn't do a detour for it.
Right.
So I just suggested that would be something that we would do a detour for the next time around if that happens, or some long term thing like that.
A detour like that, probably the first thing we'd do is go down to J64 on 300th Street, but that's a long way.
Right.
But the reason that we chose to close the road with this patching operation is it's for the end of the year. We need to be as quick as we can to get it patched ahead of the cold.
Right. I'm just saying it'd be nice to have, just so we have, if the road's getting closed, because people may know it's closed, but there may not be a direct route that the county would suggest that would be better for traffic instead of sending people down a dirt road versus putting them on a gravel road. Now, these people, I don't think had a choice because the gravel to the highway was blocked. The road J52 is blocked where the gravel runs into it, so they had to go to the dirt no matter what. I guess also, unless there's a way for them to cross and stay on gravel to get around it.
There's sections of our road network where the crossroads are not every mile. There's T's, there's dead ends, there's dirt. It's can be a challenging network out there.
Yeah.
So there wasn't any way to go straight. anyway, any place.
No. They're just,
So it was hard to market the tour.
and like I said, I think the fog was not a helpful.
Yeah.
Right.
Obviously,
Yeah.
Although,
that morning, that created some stressful situations for those individuals. But I still think as a county, we should be posting some kind of alternative path. If a road is gonna be closed for an unknown amount of time, or a week or 2 weeks or whatever, just so that we are doing whatever we can to make sure people have a safe route to go, and they're not just, guessing or getting on a road they're not used to, or which, a lot of times that's the detours are, but at least they would be.
I've got confidence in our local people being able to get around. They know what the roads are out there. It's the through traffic that
Yeah,
never heard of Page County that
right.
Just need to be more aware of where they need to go.
Yep. So that was,
okay.
Since we're on the subject, why did they block J20 and Redwood completely off? We had to take the ditch to get around the barricades. The school bus come down there that morning. I wondered how he got through there, but then the next day I see somebody took
Adjusted
the
them.
courage and pulled it clear off the road.
I'll have to talk to my guys.
Yeah, because it was blocked.
It's supposed to be staggered so you can,
Exactly, yeah,
so
because
you can
one
get through.
here at the edge of town was staggered, but we got out there and it was totally blocked off. Had to go around on the right side of the barricade and ditch. And I was coming to work the next morning and saw the school bus. I thought, how are you gonna get by that? Somebody pulled them over. Got them
I'll
out.
talk to my guy.
But they just left the bags, the sandbags sitting there too, right in the road, so. Anyway, just curious.
Need to be more aware of the public and school buses and everything else, I guess.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, JD. Okay, we have Jeff Curtis, Samuel's Group Jail update.
Good afternoon. How is everybody doing today?
Good.
Good. So out at the jail site, of course, I was off last week, took a little R&R. It was cold down in Florida though, but those things. It was actually warmer here Veterans Day than it was down there. So out at the jail, everything seems to be progressing really well. Full staff out there. The Masons are running full. We're finishing up in what we call the booking area and getting into what we call our maximum security line, which is slated to be done it'll be right after Thanksgiving. And then they'll be going back into the rest of the jail area where they already have what we call our demising walls already laid up to where the metal panels for the cells can be installed, which are due in middle end part of December. So that seems to be going really well. Electricians have permanent power in the building already. We have switchgear in there. A lot of the generator components are now on site with the building being secured down, which is nice. With the building, we do have all the enclosures put on for the windows. They're plywood. Then we're able also to secure the building down with the main doors. We received our LP tanks there today. We've got 2 1,000 gallon LP tanks, and we have some what we call indirect fire heaters that we're going to be putting in. Each one's roughly about 400,000 BTU. And we're going to be running, we have 2 on hand plus a backup. If it does get really cold, we will fire up the third to make sure we maintain temperature. But with that being, with the insulation inside the precast walls and the roof being on, and the windows and doors being enclosed, once we get that up to temp, it'll hold temp really well for us. So that seems to be going really well. Cunningham, of course, they're doing our plumbing and HVAC. They're finished up in the booking area with their ductwork. Now they're coming into the central area or the public access area, and then making their way back down the corridor 1042 and 1043, getting down into the main jail area also. So they're running full staff. With their plumbing component, they're running a bunch of the overhead main piping lines, both gas and water, supplies and returns, getting those into position for where the detention walls go in for the final tie-ins to get those ready to go also. O'Neill Electric, like I said, they're doing a really good job. We have the generator, what we call the duct bank, that's the underground. Jesse Stickler and his crew will be encasing that in concrete per code requirements. That is slated for tomorrow. And then Sean Moss from Snyder and Associates will be laying out the generator pad, which is on the north side of the building where we have the island that goes kind of right up by what we call the Sally Port. So that'll get all laid out, and then we'll get that poured. Generator still slated for delivery mid part of December. So that'll be a nice aspect. That's typically one of the last things that come on site, but we're able to get that procured earlier, which is really good. When it comes to our rooftop units, or what we call AHUs and RTUs, air handlers and rooftop units, those are sitting in the yard at Champion Crane, ready for install. We do have what we call security bars that get put in the ductwork. For some reason, somebody decides to try to escape, want to call through there, there'll be bars to where they can't do it. So as soon as we get those, we'll get those put in, and then they'll set those units on top of the roof and get those what we call flashed in, so we're maintaining being watertight. Masons are slated. I was talking to Brian and his team. They're looking to be done middle end part of December with the rest of the masonry walls, and then they'll drop back and rub the walls, do any necessary patching, and then the detail work prior to paint going on. From there, again, we'll hold off on any of the rest of the paving going up to the building until springtime. So as soon as we get the generator pad poured, that'll be one of the last things that we have left to do. You'll see some last of the remaining structural steel being installed at the main entrance, where we have the canopy that comes out with what we call a storefront with the glass. There's some steel substructure, superstructure that gets put in there that is slated to be set next week. So everything seems to be trending really well. Budget seems to be doing really well so far. Knock on wood, make sure none of these tariffs or any of that stuff kind of affects that. As of right now, we did potentially know of one possible one coming on some lighting, so we're going to navigate that. But that's where we have a construction contingency funding for, so we'll keep maintaining that. Any questions for me? So for when are you guys going to come on to visit? Again, next week, Brian Schindler, our superintendent, will be there Monday, Tuesday, with it being Thanksgiving week. And then either Mac or myself will be on site on Wednesday. As of right now, probably nobody will be working Thursday, Friday. Yeah, that's what we're looking to do. And then continue on for the rest of the year. Anything?
Yeah, sounds like it's moving.
Yes, like I said, you guys are welcome to come out anytime. Just let us know and take a tour. Wait until it gets some heat in there. It'll be a little bit warmer. But right now it's probably about 45, 50 degrees inside the building. So
We'll wait a little bit, right, Christy?
the doors are open. Everything was running really well. Last week it was a little chilly in there. It was actually, some of the guys said they went outside. It was a little bit warmer. And now that all the temp enclosures are in, so now you get the heating from what's coming up through the ground and everything else. So it's working well.
Once the heat gets in there, it'll hold it.
Very well. Yes.
Very good.
All right.
Okay, thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
Okay. Next, we have Mid-American Energy with John Huff.
Good afternoon.
John.
So last week we had 8 out of the 10 circuits energized. By the end of this week, we should have all 10 energized. So that's exciting. There should be the crane should be out of here by the end of this week is what we're projecting. Some of the connexes, like the storage containers at the laydown yard, those are starting to leave the yard. They're starting to kind of take apart the stuff on the laydown yard and get it out of there little by little. So trying to think of any other big updates. I think that's the main thing, though, is just that we're getting closer and the circuits will all be energized by the end of the week, more than likely.
Okay.
Hear anything on your transformer?
Oh, good question. I did.
You did?
It's kind of funny and kind of not, but you might as well laugh, right? It's been, as I was told, it's been taking a scenic tour of the Midwest. It has gone to every wrong place in the world. Last I heard, it was in Kansas City. I don't know what went so wrong with that, but it got sent to a lot of the wrong places. Eventually, it should make its way to Page County, but it has not yet.
Okay.
Well, Kansas City isn't too far away.
No, but it should have already been here a couple of weeks ago. And for it now to just be in Kansas City is crazy. But what are you going to do? We're trying.
Yep.
All we can do.
Yep.
Any other questions? Thanks, John.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Next week,
Happy
okay.
Thanksgiving.
I guess we'll meet again before Thanksgiving. Okay.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I'm just rushing right into it.
I know, me too. Page County Conservation, Michelle.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So I went to leadership training on October 15th and 16th. That was very informative and got to do a lot of networking with other people in my field. Halloween bash out at Rat Park was very successful. I think we went through almost the whole 200 hot dogs that we got donated to us. The kids had a blast with all the games that we made for them, and everybody had a good time. A little windy that day, but everybody still had a good time. Shut off all the water at the parks here. What was that? 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. Still winterizing some of the stuff in our shops, and the equipment in them. Completed one of my 2 required annual pesticide training videos at the extension office. Got all the dumpsters removed out of the campgrounds and stored those over at Piers. Campgrounds are closed down now, turned off the electricity at each of those, so we're gonna start saving some money there too, and with the water turned off. Took the free Iowa Public Information Board training on open meetings. That was interesting. I learned some things with that. Hopefully they have a little more in-depth one sometime. I'd like to take another one on that. Had a meeting with Betsy over at the extension office. She wants to do a master conservationist program that's run through Iowa State University next fall, hopefully. So we had our first kind of official meeting. We want to combine with Montgomery County Extension and then their conservation department also and try to do this program for the public. I think it's going to be really good, right down to Page County, and
And
I
what
think
is it?
I think it's 7 days, hour and a half to 3 hour sessions, just learning about conservation practices within Iowa. There's a water quality one, there's a prairie grass, there's timber, there's all kinds of different things that you can learn, and anybody can sign up for this. I don't know how many participants we can have yet. I don't know what the set number is, but I think it's going to be a really good program for down here. And then I've just started to cut brush and dead trees out of the park, so that'll be my next couple of months. That's all I pretty much do in December and January, so. Not a whole lot going on. Winterizing takes a long time at the parks, shutting down water and everything and making sure the campgrounds are ready to go for the winter time, so. Questions, comments?
Things going okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Staying busy. It's busy. Yeah,
Sounds good.
thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Michelle. Okay. All right, our next action discussion, and I don't have it. Do we have a resolution, or I'm trying to think what we do, whether we just appoint, okay, the Clarinda Library Board needed to replace Marcy Crane, who passed away, with someone, so they are appointing Audra Riddle. And the term will expire June 30th of 27. So we need to, this would be our rural representative. So we need to pass a motion to approve the appointment of Audra Riddle to the Clarinda Library Board.
I'll make a motion to approve Audra Riddle to the library board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right, board communication.
We have a West Central meeting tonight. 5:30. And our Board of Health meeting last night got canceled.
Okay.
And I was also going to meet with the Shenandoah Economic team today, but it got canceled.
Well,
So
okay,
somebody was sick. So
okay.
that'll probably get rescheduled.
Board of Health, was that because there wasn't a quorum?
No, I think Sam had something come up.
Okay,
I don't know if we would have a quorum because I was gone and had told them, and so some other people had said they weren't gonna be able to make it, so I'm not sure they would have even had a quorum, but
okay,
she had something come up anyway, and so
okay,
she's gonna reschedule.
okay. All right, I had a safety meeting today. Tomorrow I have a juvenile emergency services meeting and a DCAT meeting. The DCAT meeting last week was kind of a mix-up. It's supposed to be tomorrow, but it was sent out for last week, but it's tomorrow. So anyway, I have those things. So anyway, and I will be working on the opioid report. Just needs to be in by December 1st. Gonna turn that over to Kristen. So, we'll get that done and then she gets another job. Okay, and let's see, you had landfill last week, so, okay. All right, need to discuss approved claims.
I'll make a motion that we approve claims.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Aye. Okay, we need to approve the meeting minutes from November the 12th.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes as stated.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Your next, thing is to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 4:26.